latest in Fort Valley. City leaders meeting 1 week after the chief of police, his assistant chief, and the city administrator were fired. Now, to give you a refresh, 1 week ago, the mayor and council met to discuss expenditures involving the police department. Shortly afterwards, we learned the chief of police and the city administrator were fired. Friday morning, the assistant chief was also fired. Deputies from Peach County, as you saw, were asked to come secure the Fort Valley Police Department. And just this week, Captain Alger Rains was named to oversee the day-to-day operations of city law enforcement. But as of last night, a new interim police chief has been named. Our reporter Carlos Stevens was at the city council meeting last night. He brings us the very latest.
The charter, the language in the charter calls for the city administrator to terminate the police chief.
That was District 150 State Representative Patty Stinson earlier Thursday telling WGXA News that the current city charter does not allow the mayor and council to fire the police chief. Last week, city council voted to fire the police chief after first firing the city administrator. Tonight, at the start of the city council meeting, the mayor and council immediately went into executive session. After executive session, here's what happened.
So to give a statement from the executive session, the council has decided that we will advertise for the city administrator, the chief of police, as well as the fire chief. We've also accepted the recommendation for the department chair, and he has decided that Captain Wilson will be the best one to serve the police department. And I have a motion to adjourn.
And I would like to make a motion that we accept the recommendations of the police chairman and have David Wilson as our interim police chief. Second.
All in favor by the sign of raising your hand. All not in favor. Thank you.
Now, we tried to get a comment from Mayor Reeves at last night's meeting, but she declined. We will continue covering this story as it develops. Stay with us both on air and online as we learn more. 3 people in Kite have been arrested for their involvement in a child cruelty and molestation case. Arrest warrants were issued to 38-year-old Leslie Hill and 79-year-old Tommy Fuller from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office on January the 28th. Hill has been charged with 6 counts of child cruelty and 1 count of influencing a witness, while Fuller is charged with 1 count of child cruelty. 45-year-old Dallas Fuller has also been arrested for 5 counts of child molestation and sexual battery after an investigation revealed he sexually molested the teenage victim between September 2024 and January of this year. The victim confided in Hill and Tommy Fuller about what happened, but they failed to report anything or protect her from the abuse. The investigation remains active and ongoing. 2 Middle Georgia men are spending time in prison for bank fraud. Yesterday, Ronnie Atkinson of Macon was sentenced after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit bank fraud and identity theft. According to a release, 60-year-old Alan Childs was the market president for Morris Bank in Gray from 2018 to 2022. During that time, Childs kept giving Atkinson business loans even though he had reached the limit. At the end, Morris Bank issued 57 loans to and for the benefit of Atkinson, with a total loss between $1.5 and $3.5 million. Atkinson was sentenced to 7 years in prison with 5 years of supervised release and has been ordered to pay almost $3.3 million in restitution. Childs was sentenced last year to a year and 1 day in prison and has to pay almost $3.1 million in restitution. And in Macon, a man was found guilty after shooting a person 5 times during an armed robbery. 41-year-old Dywandis Harden was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping Wednesday. In 2022, Harden asked a family connection to pick him up on Mercer University Drive. When he got there, Harden's accomplice came out of the woods and hit him with a gun. The victim was forced to ride in the back seat of his car, being held at gunpoint, while Harden took his phone and transferred money to his own account. The victim leapt from the moving car, and Howard did a U-turn and then shot him 5 times and left him wounded on the side of the road. Hardin was sentenced to life in prison plus 10 additional years with the possibility of parole. Deputies say the accomplice has still not been found and remains unknown. A Milledgeville family is displaced after a house fire. Right after 3 p.m. yesterday, crews were working to put out a fire at a home on Jefferson Street. That road closing for several hours. The Baldwin County Fire Chief told us the residents got out safely, but the home is thought to be a total loss. The cause of the fire is still being investigated, but is believed to have started in a bedroom.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. Got the weekend ahead of us, and right now it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent weekend for all of us here in Middle Georgia. Started out a bit chilly out there this morning with temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s, but today we're going to see abundant sunshine. It's going to be, as I said, a very beautiful day, and it will be a warmer day as well than we were yesterday, going up to the low 60s with all that sunshine. Yesterday, we only hit 46 degrees, so much warmer today. And then looking at tomorrow, now we're going to see a dry cold front slip through Middle Georgia overnight tonight. So tomorrow, we will see a lot of sunshine, but temperatures will be a tad cooler with highs tomorrow right around the mid to maybe most of us upper 50s, but don't think we'll quite hit 60 tomorrow. And then as we get into Sunday, we'll see a good deal of sunshine once again, and we'll stay in the upper 50s. So again, that's still not too bad for this time of year, considering the average high 62, so getting back up closer to where we should be. Now as we kick in next week, we're going to start out Monday with partly cloudy skies, still staying dry, and we'll actually be even warmer Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, where we'll see a mix of clouds and sun each day, and we'll actually be hitting the 70s next week as well. Now, talking about the rain, we are going to be staying dry today through the weekend into at least the first of next week. I think we'll see another chance of rain as we get toward the end of next week and maybe into next weekend, and that would be in the form of maybe a few showers around Middle Georgia. But right now, just enjoy the beautiful sunny weather. However, we do need some rain as we're looking at the drought monitor. This was updated yesterday, as it is every Thursday. And notice, even though we had a little bit of rain the day before, it didn't do a whole lot as far as the drought's concerned here in Middle Georgia, as we are all at a severe to moderate drought. So definitely keeping our fingers crossed, even though I know we don't like to see those cloudy, dreary, rainy days, but we do need some rain in Middle Georgia. Temperature is going to be the big story for us over the next several days. The average high, 62 as of today. We'll be running close to that today, a little bit below that over the weekend, as we'll see a little bit of cooler air filtering back in behind that dry front tonight. However, as we look into next week, we will see temperatures going above average, and we'll be going into the low, maybe even some mid 70s by the middle of next week. Let's take a look at that forecast today. Now we're going to see all that sunshine out there, low 60s, a beautiful day here in Middle Georgia. And then tomorrow morning we'll kick off our Saturday with clear skies, mid to some upper 30s. And here is our 10-day forecast showing, as I said, slightly cooler over the weekend, mid to upper 50s. And then as we get into next week, there comes that warmer air with a mix of clouds and sun each day. We'll be climbing up into the low to mid 70s. And then by the end of next week into the weekend, we'll see another chance of rain and some slightly cooler air once again as well.
United.
Urban Meyer built college football dynasties.
Football is a way of life.
Mark Ingram II ran his way to a Heisman.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show with this thing.
Rob Stone calls it like he sees it. This is the Triple Option, where legends tackle the biggest headlines in college football and the NFL with guests who don't hold back.
You're not winning with that owner.
Wow.
It's football talk that hits harder than game day. The Triple Option, presented by Wendy's, wherever you get your podcasts.